Hello guys, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you're excited. So I just want to go down a few synthetic indices pairs so that I show you my lookout for this entire week on volatility 75, as well as other few crash and booms. So for those that are not in my free groups, there's a free discussion Telegram group that the link is in my bio. There's also a free WhatsApp group. The link is in my bio where we discuss about trading. I also share free signals in those free groups. So if you're not part of those, you can also join through the links that are in the description. We also do have daily live TikTok sessions each and every single day. We have live sessions on TikTok where I actually analyze and trade live with everyone who will be part of those sessions. So it will also help you a lot to be part of those TikTok sessions. So the link to the TikTok as well, it will also be there in the free groups. You will also find the links to the TikTok live sessions. So you can also join us each and every single day for those TikTok live sessions. All right, without wasting much time, let me break down volatility 75, what I'm looking at for this entire week. For this entire week, this is the current trading range that I'm looking at on VIX, right? This is the current trading range that I'm looking at on volatility 75, right? As you can see here, to the left, as you can see here to the left, you can actually see that um structure is actually bullish lately. It's actually bullish lately because of this change of character that happened here. So this change of character that happened here, when it now means that the external structure is now bullish. External structure is now bullish. External structure is now bullish. Hence, we are gonna have serious swing buys from this untapped demand there. And you can notice just above that untapped demand, there's also a inducement that will be collected from the bottom there. So once we enter the swing buys there, the target here is this first target is that highest point there. So this is the current range that we are looking at on volatility 75 for this entire week. So that's what we are looking at. That's what we are looking at. Then another thing now, you can see that there's a supply here. There's a supply there, untapped supply, that one. It came, didn't touch it. Untapped supply, which the market maybe can decide maybe to come and take it out before coming all the way down, something like this, right? This can actually happen. So this is one probable scenario that we'll be looking at. One probable scenario that we'll be looking at. So the most important zones for you to be trading is this one, that zone at the top, this zone at the bottom. These are the higher probability zones that you mustn't miss any trades on. Those are high probability zones that you mustn't miss any trades on. So now the most important next thing to look at now is to identify properly this internal structure, right? Because whatever is happening in between a swing low and a swing high, whatever happens in between there is what we call internal structure. So looking at internal structure now, this is where most people also get confused with of what's really happening. So yeah, this is the most biggest headache for most traders because they don't really understand what is really going on here in terms of internal structure. So that's where the real analysis is going to be on there. That's where the real analysis is going to be there on. So once you have the understanding and the proper accuracy in terms of you differentiating between external structure and internal structure. Once you know the difference between the two, it means you are now way much above the rest and the majority of the traders that are out there. So let me just remove this. Here, let me refine the, you can see this is the supply, untapped supply, untapped supply, untapped supply. To the left, we actually had a major change of character, internal change of character to the left here. You can see the change of character to the left, internal structure here, internal structure. Where was it broken? It was actually broken here. Internal change of character there. We left that untapped supply, right? Which might most probably be tapped maybe before we continue all the way down there. So change of character there. So dropping, 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 dropping. The most important thing now is where the market is currently. That's where the most important. So now, when you zoom out like this, that's when you can get a better picture of what is really going on with internal structure. So internal structure, you can as well see that something happened here. Something happened here. We broke to the downside. Okay, we broke to the downside. So if ever we broke to the downside, it means this here was your low. This is the highest point that broke that low, right? Right, this is what happened. So now it went on to break that highest point as well. So now we now have this other scenario now. So this break to the upside now, it now means that the market can still now be currently bullish before the overall push down. So meaning the current internal order flow here, it can still be bullish because of this. Had it not broken there above, it was going to be continuing to go down. But this break here to the upside is what confirmed that we're now. So this break there, it led to the creation of this high. This was the low. So you can see we have a low and we now have a higher high there. We have a higher high there. We have a higher high that has been created here. Higher high has been created there. So there are two case scenarios now. Higher high. And if ever you notice, there is also an untapped demand there around where that low is. So somehow it can even create the higher low before. You can do this before, you see. So this is also another case scenario. So that's also in a zone, a high probability zone that the market is going to give us some beautiful trades there. You can also see that there is liquidity that is lying just above that zone, which is what makes that zone a high probability entry zone. So all these zones that I'm saying, high probability entry zones, those are zones where major trades, where we expect people to take major trades from. This is also where we take major trades from those high probability entry zones that I'm saying high probability entry zones. So there's liquidity there that the market is most bound to collect before it goes up. So here, looking at sub-internal structure, you can see that here we're going up, high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. Then here we broke this internal high low like that. So that break there, that break of that internal level there, that's an internal change of character, right? Maybe to facilitate this pullback. Remember, we have push, pullback, push. This is what I'm looking at. So this swing buy here, this is gonna be a swing buy here, swing buy to the upside. These are the trades that we are most probably looking forward to this entire week. Swing buy there, swing buy there, right? And also, what else are we looking at? What else are we looking at? What else are we looking at? So swing by there. This is an internal change of character to the downside to facilitate this downward pullback. To facilitate that downward pullback. Let's see where this Fibonacci retracement happened. It happens around 61.8. That's where it started to drop from 61.8. There was also a fair value gap that was there. There's also a fair value gap there. There was also a fair value gap there around that region. Fair value gap here, you can see there, tapped the fair value gap, but this supply wasn't tapped. This supply wasn't tapped, which is also a zone that the market can most probably come to tap onto. So I have two zones that I'm looking forward to. I have that zone as well as this order block there. So those are two zones that we are most probably looking forward to have those downward sells to the downside. So in this particular case now, it can actually, this is currently buying. First target is there, second target is there, because from there it can actually give us the downward push to the downside before the upward push. So those are the two major trades that we'll be looking forward to: the push down, and the push up. The push down, swing sell, and the swing buy. Swing sell, swing buy, then swing sell. Swing sell from here, swing buy from here. These are the current trades that we're looking at. So many people, the problem that they have is the problem of trading in minor zones. These are major zones. That's also another major zone. That one is a major zone as well. So your ability to properly identify your major zones, where you are taking trades from, your ability to identify major zones, your ability to identify major zones where the market is. You can see here we tapped into this demand, internal change of character here to push price up before the drop. Right. So here you can see that the current opportunity right now, is buys. First target is this, second target is that. Then we drop down. Then the next opportunity. So the current opportunity is buying. Next opportunity is selling. Then the next opportunity will be buying. So those are the major opportunities that I'm looking forward for this week. This is in the entire setup that I'm currently looking forward to for this entire week of this entire week for volatility 75. This is the entire structure, entire setups that I'm having in place. Those are the entire setups that I'm having in place. So right now, where do we buy now? Where do we buy? That's the next thing now. That's the next thing. We go down to the 1 hour time frame. Where do you enter? That's the next important point. Where do you enter? That's the next important point. So where to enter now? That's the most important point now. Where do you enter? Where do you enter? That's the most important point, because after having analyzed like this, so um, this is the zone that has been tapped on the 4 hour. You can see. So you could have bought here, because you can see this bearish move down. This bearish move down is what made this zone a high probability zone, right? That's why I drew it like that. That's why I drew it like that. So you would have bought here with your stop loss maybe below this internal demand there. There's an internal demand here that you can look at. So the first entry that you're supposed to enter was this one. This buy there was your first entry that you're supposed to enter, right? First entry that you're supposed to enter was here. So now, where is the next entry? Where is the next entry? Where is the next entry? This demand here, the stop loss was going to be below there, right? If you bought here, your stop loss could have just been, for those that don't know how you place stop losses and all that, you would have bought immediately here after the rejection. You would have bought here. You're supposed to buy there. The stop loss just below this demand, because just in case it comes to tap there, it means you're still safe. Right now, you'll still be in profit. So that was the first entry zone there that we saw. Then here, let me just refine this. Let me just refine this like this, right? So this is the structure. Entry zone there. Let's look at another entry zone. Another entry zone is this demand here. That's this demand here. It's another entry zone that the market can also actually come and tap onto before they push up. So there, that's where I'm actually also expecting another entry to most probably. So you wait for the market to come into the zone. You wait for the market to come into the region. Once it comes into the region, you wait for a rejection. So that is actually going to take out this liquidity that is lying below here. So this equal laws here. There's liquidity there. So they'll come and collect liquidity. So wait for the market to enter into the zone. Once it enters into the zone, wait for the rejection. Once it comes and rejects, you enter your stop loss. You just put it below either the candlestick rejection there, just below the candlestick rejection. Then we hold all the way to the upside. This is the trade that I'm looking forward for today, even in the next upcoming days. So this is gonna be also a swing trade going up. Swing trade going up. It's going to be a swing trade going up. So for further updates will be given in my free groups. I also have VIP groups where the signals will be given and everything. But this is the entry. That's the high probability entry zone there. High probability entry zone there for the buys. You can also include further conferences if ever you want to scale in along the way. If you want to scale in along the way, if you want to scale in the trade along the way, right? For someone who might say, I want to scale in the trade along the way. Let me just show you how it's going to operate, how it's going to move. So this is the structure. To the upside, this is the structure. So this is the structure, you can see, sort of like a triangle like that. So what I'm looking forward to now is something like this. Down, then we break up, establish this change of character, something like this, something like this. So this is what I'm looking forward to now on volatility 75. This is what I'm looking forward to now on volatility. Even if, let's say there's a scenario where it doesn't come down here, right? This doesn't come down here. So all you do now is to wait for the breakout and the pullback. The pullback, sometimes it can even pull back as far as that region that I showed you. So it can even do this, come down before the push up. So both this entry and the entry there, it will still be fine. But this is the setup for volatility 75 for today and the next upcoming days for this entire week, basically. This is my lookout on volatility 75. Moving forward to my next pair, which is Crash 500. Moving on to my next pair, which is Crash 500. So the most important thing is for you to identify the current pair that I'm trading. Is it on a high probability zone or it's on a low probability zone? Is it on a high probability zone or it's on a low probability zone? So many people, they have the reason why you encounter unnecessary losses or unnecessary drawdowns is because of taking trades from unnecessary minor zones. If you notice volatility 75, I actually showed you that the major zone to have taken the buys from. Had you taken the buys from that major zone, right now you'd be in profit. People who are having problems now are people who are just buying in the air right now. People who are just buying in the air. People who buy in the air where there is no major zone. That's where you encounter losses. When you buy in the air where there is no major zone, that's where you encounter losses. Let me just show you what I'm saying, what I'm talking about now. Let me just show you what I'm talking about now. Right. So for those that are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the videos. And because most of these videos are going to be there almost every single time, videos that will bring you proper knowledge and proper enlightenment of what really happens on the market. So it will help you in a very, very huge way to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It will help you in a very, very, very huge way. It will help you in a very, very huge way. Those that haven't joined my free groups, the links are in the bio. Free group to the WhatsApp, free group to the Telegram. The links are in the bio there. The links are in the bio. The links are in my bio. The links are in my bio. That's where the links to my free groups are. Right. Let's see. So this is that's what is currently happening on volatility 75. I'm expecting buying opportunities. I don't know what's happening with this. Um, so we're expecting buying opportunities on volatility 75. Buying opportunities, that's what I'm expecting on volatility 75. Buying opportunities. Right. So this is the setup. So what I was saying of taking trades in the air, right? Like right now, someone can try to buy here. You are buying in the air. That's why you encounter losses. You discover that they'll take you out. You're buying in the air when you're doing like that. You're buying in the air. Same as here when you're selling. You don't just sell anywhere. There are proper levels that you're supposed to sell. As it was coming down into this. Remember, those that are in the mentorship, they know that we buy in discount zones and we sell in premium. Here, there's a discount zone. This is a zone where we are supposed to be buying. Then the premium is around these regions where we're going to sell. So along the way, you'll not hear me talking about sales. I will never even talk about sales because the market will be going up. Same as here as it was coming down. Sub-internal structure, right? Sub-internal structure. This was the internal, sub-internal breakup structure. So in this case, as it was coming down, this was a pullback, remember. As it was coming down, you were not supposed to sell after, especially this break of structure. After this break of structure, you don't sell here. That's a discount zone. You don't sell in a discount zone. You wait for the pullback, for the market to pull back into something like this, which was a premium zone. Premium zone, it goes back into, you take your sell there. Break structure there. Wait for a slight pullback. Here, try to pull back into the fair value gap, tap the fair value gap, drop. So you see, you always need to wait for some form of a pullback before you just jump into the trade. So people right now that are buying here in the air there, they will most probably be taken out before we go where the market wants to go. So these are the entries that I'm looking forward to on volatility 75. Let me move on to my next pair. So all the other synthetic indices pairs, we are going to be analyzing them live on TikTok. All the other synthetic indices pairs, we are going to be analyzing them live on what? On TikTok. So it will help you to make sure that you have joined my free groups so that when the live TikTok sessions are happening, we can actually analyze your pair for you live with you and also show you the entries that you can take for the particular synthetic indices pair that you will be trading. So Crash 500, this is the structure. This was the previous swing lower high, swing lower low. Right? Swing lower high, swing lower low like that. What else? You can see swing lower low, swing lower high there. Swing lower low, swing lower high like this. So this is the structure of Crash 500. Current structure of Crash 500. Swing lower high here. So long this one is not broken, the market can still be bearish all the way down. So this is the current range on Crash 500 for this week. This is the current range. This is our current range of focus for this entire week. Once you have identified your range, the next thing is to identify properly your zones. If you look at internal structure, this internal structure here, there was a change of character to the downside. That's internal structure, right? So that internal structure change of character down. Remember what I just showed you, that after every break of structure or change of character like this, wait for the market to pull back into a premium zone before you continue selling. In as much as it can sell all the way down there, wait for the market to pull back into a what? A premium zone. Premium zone in this case, we have this. You can see that supply there. That supply there. It's also our premium zone that you can actually enter continuation sales from. Wait for the pullback there, then you enter continuation sales from that region. So for this entire week, it can actually be pulling back. For this entire week, for the next coming days, it can actually be doing the pullback. Then maybe around next week, you'll see the drop from that premium zone there. That's what we might have next week on Crash 500. So once I've identified my zone like that on the daily, once I've identified my trading range on the daily like that, the next important thing for me to do on the 4 hours is to identify properly internal structure, sub-internal structure. Here you can see that this pullback that we want, for it to happen, we had to have this. This was bound to happen, which was a sub-internal change of character there. Sub-internal change of character like that. So after this change of character has happened like that, like this, right? After it has happened like this, the most important thing now is for us to properly identify the proper sub-internal structure. So this is the low, this was the high, low there. We went on to break the high there. We now have a new high, which is this one, And for this one to be confirmed as our new high, it has to break sub-internal structure. Where does it have to break sub-internal structure? We call that breaking sub-internal structure, or taking out what? Or taking out inducement. So either way, we are talking the same language. So here, untapped demand, let's see. It was tapped actually, but let's see, let's go down to 1 hour. You can see that just above there's a lot of liquidity that is above that zone. There's a lot of liquidity that is above that zone. That's why I'm saying the probability of them coming into this zone is high. So high. so high. So you see, that's the demand there where we're expecting to take our swing buys from. So if you notice the structure of both these two, uh, it's almost similar, almost similar. What is happening on Crash 500 and what we just analyzed now on VIX 75, almost a similar case scenario, almost a similar case scenario, almost a similar case scenario. And also, the good thing about this, it tapped into a fair value gap there as well. Tapped into a fair value gap. Is there any supply there? There's also a supply there. But now the most important thing, now remember, the most important thing is pulling back into this region where we're expecting to take what? Swing buys from here. Meaning that sub-internal structure, it must continue being bearish up until the market taps into this region. Once it taps into this region, your first target that you'll be looking at this as your first TP target. Your next TP target will be the zone above, which is that one. So this is our first target for this week. We're expecting this swing buys to the upside. Swing buys to the upside. That's what we're expecting to the upside. So remember, this is a push. What is happening now is a pullback. That pullback now, in order for it to happen all the way down, this market must follow this sub-internal structure, break of structure, pull back into a premium, then we'll break again. Break structure there, we put back into the fair value gap. We are dropping now again. So from there, we took sales from there. I actually gave the sales in my free signal groups. I actually gave that sell. I actually gave this sell entry here. We are currently in profit actually, and our stop losses are on break even. Our stop losses are on break even. Our stop losses are on break even. Our stop losses are on break even currently for that particular trade. So it's actually a trade that is in profit. That's why it will help you in a very huge way for you to make sure that you are part of the free signals group, part of my free signals group on Telegram as well as on WhatsApp. So this is what is happening. This is what is happening on Crash 500. So now what can even happen is for the market maybe to most probably tap this supply before they drop down. So here you can as well take this sell down here up until the market taps into this region. So right now the opportunity for Crash 500, it sells especially on this one. First entry, that's another zone that you can expect to enter. Obviously, these setups that I just done for you, these setups that I just did for you now, all the signals for them, I'm going to give them with my team in my free groups there, as well as my VIP team. Obviously, in the VIP, we give more signals than in the free groups. So my team there, we're going to actually make sure that we make money out of all these setups. So this is the entry. You can enter there, your stop loss above here. All you just need now is patience. Patience. People who experience losses are people who try to enter trades in the air. In the air, it's where there is no zone, where there is no major zone. Where there is no major zone, when you enter trades in the middle like that, that's where you encounter unnecessary losses. So the next entry, remember we took an entry there. The next entry now is here. Next entry is there. You can also see a counter trend line down here, which can also give you another entry as well. This can also give you another entry. So first entry will be there. Once we enter there, you can also as well enter upon the trend line break and switches. This is also a good setup for this week. This is also a good setup for this week. This is also a very good setup for this week. So this is the trade currently that I'm looking forward to on Crash 500. The sell, then the buy. The sell, then the swing buy. The drop down and so this is the setup. No need for me to go down to 30 minutes or 15 minutes. You just need to wait for the market to come into this region. Once it comes to the regions, you enter the trades there. Last but not least, my last pair that I also trade. So the pairs that I'm analyzing now are the pairs that personally, those are the ones that I focus on mostly. Those are the ones. So this one, you can see already we're in a trade. I was actually in a trade on Boom 500. I was actually in a trade. Right. If you notice something, Boom 500, Crash 500, and VIX 75. The reason why I chose those three, they have some form of there's some form of correlation that is always there on these three pairs that I just mentioned. So if you notice this internal change of character here is the same internal change of character that you saw on Crash 500. It's the same also that you saw on what? On VIX 75. This pullback that we are talking about is also the same pullback that we are waiting for on Crash 500. The same pullback also that we're waiting for on VIX before the push up. So this push up on Boom 500, it has happened. On Crash 500, it's going to happen. That's why I'm saying for this week, our trade on Crash 500 is this major buy. That's the opportunity. So right now on this one, the next major opportunity right now on Boom 500 is the major sales down. The major sales down, especially in that region there, the top there. So for this week, that's the high probability entry that we are waiting for. Boom 500 is always ahead of Crash 500 in their delayed direct correlation. Those that are in the mentorship class, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So the move has already happened. The move has already happened on Boom 500. The move was this one. This was the move according to the current internal order flow here. The entry or the move was this one. So now we've broken structure there, you can see. We've broken structure up there, right? We've broken structure. So we've broken structure. So now you can see that the gap from where we want to take major sales from is just a small gap. So here, there are two case scenarios now, two case scenarios that might happen. Either it's just gonna pull back into this breaker block, then continue booming, right? There on the top there, we will take major swing selling opportunities. Major swing selling. So the major opportunity right now for Boom is the sales there. That's why if you didn't catch this buy, if you didn't catch this buy already, if you didn't catch this buy already, personally, I managed to catch this buy. I managed to catch this buy. If you join my free groups, you can actually see the before and the after. So now it can pull back into the breaker block, then continue booming. So if you just want maybe to take it, but it's not a high probability entry now. You see now the difference. It won't be a high probability entry because you are now buying in a premium zone. This zone above here, this is a premium zone where we are now starting to look for selling opportunities, especially that region. So the major trade for Boom now is that major sell at the top there. That's the major trade. So you can as well wait for the major sell there at the top. You can as well wait for the major sell at the top on Boom 500. Then, meanwhile, you focus on the moves that haven't happened on Crash 500. Remember, the move on Boom has happened already. The move on Boom has happened, but on Crash 500, the move hasn't happened. So you can as well cater for those pairs that the move hasn't happened. For example, here, which one is the move? The first move here is down here, as well as the move up. Those are the moves. So those are the opportunities that you must be focusing on. Boom 500, the move has already happened. We are now waiting for the swing sell at the top there. We're now waiting for the swing sell at the top. So here, even if it doesn't come here, I told you that you can wait for the break here, retest there. You can as well enter the sales coming down. So this is the opportunity for Crash 500, especially this down, especially this move up here. So on Boom, you saw that we actually boomed all the way and broke structure up, which is yet to happen on Crash 500. And the probability of it happening is high. That's why you mustn't miss this buy. So that's why you must focus on. So Boom 500, wait for the major zone at the top to sell because the market is almost there. Wait for the major zone to tap. Wait for it to take major sales from the top there. Then Crash 500, wait to take major, wait to take those sales down as well as the push up. So here on VIX 75, I spoke about you also maybe if it breaks here, you can also wait for the pullback into this demand here or pull back into that trend line. You can as well also take buying opportunities. So guys, I hope you get it. Other pairs, we're going to be breaking down all other pairs, all other synthetic pairs, all other currencies pairs, all other indices pairs. We're going to be breaking down live on TikTok during the day as well as during the night. We have a live TikTok session, so it will help you in a huge way if you are part of those sessions. If you're part of those sessions, it will help you in a very huge way because it will increase your profitability, increase your consistency as well, increase your skill as well. So guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.